Adam, do you acknowledge that you let the victims down by not having an appropriate security plan?
Oh, that's not the correct. That's not correct. We would disagree with that. We had
It was a plan that allowed an attacker to drive into a crowd.
And I take exception to that, and I do not agree with that.
That has to be a failure.
We do know that people have lost their lives. But if you're experienced with terrorism, you would not be asking that question.
Well, with respect, experience of terrorism should require appropriate security protection.
Annie Kirkpatrick. I'm just now learning about who this woman is. This is Annie or Anna Kirkpatrick, and she refuses to acknowledge that she left the victims. She let them down by not having an appropriate security plan or security measures in place for something like this not to take place. What happened in New Orleans is sickening, man. And it still has America in the uproar, has us, tensions are rising, and we're just all on edge right now, just worried about what could possibly happen. But before we get into all of the details that we know as of right now, as it pertains to it, I definitely want to just dive into some of the weird stuff about this. First of all, what's Hillary Clinton's connection to this, right? Shout out to Shipwreck. She's going to give us a more detailed analysis of it. But yeah, she seems to be involved in this. What else we got? They says we also got Biden looking awfully familiar with this police chief. And then we're gonna listen to a full clip of the police superintendent who says she had no clue that New Orleans has sidewalk barriers to defend against terror attacks, which is now being used today, which is just completely horrible on her part, man. Come on now. Then lastly, we're gonna look into the terrorist home. Yes, we have apparently it hit the internet that we can just walk into his house right now. Now, as far as Hillary Clinton go, Shadow of Ezra posted Chelsea Clinton, the daughter of Hillary Clinton, sits on the board of IAC Inc., which holds 31% stake in Turo, the car sharing app used by both of the terrorists in New Orleans and Las Vegas to rent electric vehicles for their attacks. IAC gained sufficient control over Turo with a $250 million investment in 2019. What's the conspiracy without a Clinton, they wrote. So let's go ahead and look at this. This is, look like it come from Wikipedia. You can see Relay Rail, okay. Board of directors, we got Barry Diller, Victor, then we got Chelsea Clinton right there. The third one is director. Let's read a few comments as it relates to this. Let's keep going. Hillary is just, oh my God. Hillary is just everywhere these days. Wow. Y'all ain't holding nothing back. Y'all ain't holding, look at y'all. Look at y'all got Hillary out here holding a, oh my gosh. And this is actually Shipwreck, the video we're about to get into next. Yeah, what is this? It's probably just coincident that a CIA agent with the same last name as the Cybertruck bomber passed away in 2011 under rampant speculation that his own government had killed him, right? I don't know nothing about that. Deep state. The deep state is unfathomably deep. And Chelsea looks more like her father Webb every year. Wow, what a web of Democrats and FBI, CA have sown. There's a trail of corruption. Back on the Clinton doorstep, why is this treasonous viper not behind bars? Somebody wrote. Now, moving on to Shipwreck's take on this so we can get some more insight as to what's going on.
Both vehicles that were used in the incidences that happened on New Year's Eve and then New Year's Day were rented through a car sharing app called Turo. Turo is like a where you can go in and rent other people's cars and then those people get kind of like Airbnbs, right? To give a shout out to Salty Texan for this because she's the one that pointed it out. I just kind of went and looked a little bit further. Connections between the two incidences that have happened, even though Joe Biden got up there today and said that there wasn't, there's a lot. They both serve the same army base. They both got their vehicles through the same car sharing app. But right now, I just want to focus on the car sharing app. The car sharing app is called Turo. Turo is owned by a company called IAC Incorporated. IAC Incorporated had invested $250 million into the car sharing app back in 2019, which effectively made it the largest shareholder in the car startup app. Well, who sits on the board of IAC, which is the owner of the car sharing app called Turo? Well, it's Chelsea Clinton. She's making some bank there too. She's just getting her bag. The former first daughter since 2011 has received an annual retainer of $50,000 for serving on the board of IAC Interactive Corporation. We also got $250,000 worth of restricted IAC stock units. Bank. But that's not all. Edgar Brofman also sits on the board of directors for IAC. If he still does, because I found this article from 2019 saying that he had actually resigned back in October of 2019. Edgar Brofman is the father of Claire Brofman, and Claire Brofman was part of, do you remember the NXI, the Nexvum, like, XA African tray thing ring that was going on, and she was sent to prison for a long time? This was back in 2020. I haven't thought about this in years. The group was led by a Keith Rainier. She wasn't like directly involved in it, but she used her wealth as a means of intimidation in order to keep a lot of the victims of the cult quiet. Enough to send her ass to prison. We looked into any of these other people, but I thought that was just really fascinating. Be fair, on the non-conspiratorial side, I'm
glad she pointed that out, because I mean, obviously I don't know the extent of these people's lives that we just seen on those on that list. But, you know, I would have just went past it and I thought nothing of it. But wow, this is why I appreciate people like her.
He owns a lot of different companies like the Daily Beast, which is a news outlet, care.com. They also are the ones that bought out. Do you remember Angie's List? That was a big deal for a while. That had some controversy around it too, but I don't remember what it was. Dating service, Vimo, which is the video sharing website, ask.com, which I haven't heard in years either, Expedia, TripAdvisor.
That was Ask Jeeves.
About anything and everything out there. The fact that both vehicles were rented through the same car share app that really nobody's really heard of, I don't think, until obviously the last couple days, is pretty fucking wild. But the FBI and the current White House administration, I'm not even gonna say Joe Biden, because we all know, right? It's whoever in the White House that's doing this is trying to convince people that they're not connected in any way. But man, they seem to be connected in a lot of ways. I just thought it was wild.
Please do me a favor and go follow Shipwreck Show on X right now. She does phenomenal work, and I enjoy being able to use some of her content in my content. And yeah, without her, some of this content wouldn't even be able to be as potent as it is. So I have to give credit where credit is due, and I'm completely appreciative of the work. But this definitely is very interesting. Somebody said, I always find it, well, not surprising how a lot of the shit that happens bad in the world can always show a Democrat being tied to it in some behind the curtain type of way. They're behind all of it, I believe. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is a coincidence. What do you think? I'm just saying. We just learned that Wikipedia is trying to wipe all of the Bill Clinton and Epstein information, or Clinton and Epstein link information together. Somebody said, yeah, Joe Biden and the people pulling his strings are full of shh. This is so interesting. I would like to see Tosi and Cash Patel for the show to pull a collaboration on this one for sure, man. New info. Thanks for the deeper dive. What a coincidence, right? Now, speaking of coincidences, the New Orleans police chief looks awfully familiar. Now, you know, this is not, we talking about serious stuff here. Y'all know I always got to give disclaimers to the last when we doing that. We got to laugh to keep from crying in some instances, but, you know, some stuff just hits your timeline and you can't help but crack a smile, man. And that right there definitely is what I needed in that moment. Definitely. Shout out to Colin Rugg, because he wrote, New Orleans police superintendent says that she had no clue that New Orleans had sidewalk barriers to defend against terror attacks, which are now being used today. What a total embarrassment, he added. Reporters seemed shocked when Annie Kirkpatrick bizarrely admitted that she was unaware of sidewalk barriers, something that would have likely saved lives had they been installed on New Year's. According to the video footage, the New Orleans terror attack suspect appeared to get around police barricades by going through the sidewalk.
What you see behind us is what we call hardening the target. So we have brought in heavy trucks. You will see when you go down Bourbon, you will see yellow, what we call archers, and they're along the sidewalk. And that would be to be preventive. If someone had, or if this particular terrorist went around up on the sidewalk, that's what that would do. Okay, it would slow that down for anyone who thought that they could breach our targets. And so those are some of the main differences we are done in the quarter. Also, you are going to see an incredibly large presence of police. And we are, though, confident, but we want our community to feel confident and know they are confidently safe. And that's what we're going to do. So right now, I can declare to you that the Bourbon Street is open.
Chief, where did those archers come from?
Sorry?
Yellow archers, where did they come from?
Actually, we have them. I didn't know about them, but we have them. And so we have been able now to put them out.
Okay.
And of course, she's been thrown the term DEI hire. And this is why we can't win. Gunther Eagleman said DEI hires, and Colin Rugg replied that it's time to rehire. People's lives depend on it. Yes, because if you're somebody in that position and you don't have the knowledge that you can use barriers to prevent people from getting harmed, especially on a night like New Year's, where you know there's going to be the whole city is coming out, plus more people from out of town traveling, coming off of the holidays and things of that nature. You will want to take every precautionary measure that you possibly can, even to the extremes. Now, of course, nobody could have predicted something like this would have happened. But I mean, you got to think New Year's, people are going to be, you know, having guns, things of that nature. People are going to be mixing with the liquor and all that, you know. So it's like those type of things are already presenting a potential threat. Why leave that as another, you know? I don't think that she did a good job handling this for sure. And I don't know, it kind of felt like she was, did she just kind of brag, you know, that they put barriers out after a terrorist attack though? Like, did y'all get that kind of sense? I don't know, man. They saying that whoever hired her should lose a job as well. They don't think so. But like I said, we have pretty much a cribs of this guy, of his home and of this New Orleans terrorist. And Brianna Morello says that she also asked the FBI, why didn't they seize the laptop, Quran, and other religious material in the terrorist's home? And they didn't even comment. Let's check it out.
We're here inside the New Orleans terrorist home. You can see that it's been clearly destroyed, the door at least, from the FBI raid yesterday. But if we walk through the home, we see some signs of what he was up to. He had this work area here, lots of different chemicals splayed around, and different electronics. This is, again, a work setup. Left receipts, just very unkempt in here. If we go over here, actually, you can see the Department of Justice documents here, the search warrant, and the property that they recorded here, which seems to be a lot of chemicals. Again, just left in disarray. There's a bedroom back here, and what appears to be his collection of religious materials, his Qurans, an open Quran with a passage there, as well as even the Bible here, but mostly books on Islam, and his prayer rug just to the left of me here. And if we go back, there's another bedroom here. You can see he left all these belongings, contact lenses, personal belongings, bathroom. This seems to be some sort of workspace, again, with other chemicals here. The light's still on, some kind of station set up here. We're not really sure what that was for. In, what we can assume was also a bedroom. You can see clothes left here, and just a sign that someone was here up until those last few moments when neighbors said he left just before the New Year's holiday, saying he was done with his lease. It was up and he was on his way to New Orleans where he would live there. Didn't take any furniture because he said his new home would be furnished. That's all we know so far.
Yeah, his new home is going to be furnished, all right, around that right there. That's what this whole home is going to look like. Oh my gosh, a lot of questions. Why did they leave chemicals in there? I don't know. I don't know how investigations work in terms of the religious items and they need it. Some people are saying that this is BS. They want to store up support for military engagement against ISIS, proxy war for Israel, and they want to hamstring Trump with wars all over the globe. All I know is our big media is working with the FBI to stage something. And I don't know, that laptop was right there. No communication between the perp and anyone else. You didn't find out? Shame.